Do you have any updates on what way Carlos is leaning? Like, has Flavio Briatore convinced him yet, or James Vowles? And I want to get back to James Vowles in a second.
No, it doesn't. Like, he hasn't. He basically what he had told us on Thursday was the fact that he's trying to just leave this for now and focus on it like during the week. So like from like Monday to Wednesday, those are the days he has his meetings. He talks to his team. They're having conversations with other teams and trying to like sort through it all. I find it interesting though, Adam, sort of this resurgence of Mercedes over the past few races.
Yep.
And we're starting to see like, hey, that's the old Mercedes coming back here. Like, wow, like here we go. And everybody should be like that because 1, they have championship pedigree.
Yep.
2, they have an incredible infrastructure. 3, they have an amazing team behind the scenes. And they were always going to figure this out. It's the question of, hey, like, can they keep this sustained sort of momentum going? And yeah, they can because they have an aggressive upgrade schedule coming up. And they've figured it out. They finally figured out this regulation. They know the direction they need to go in. They know how easy it is to slip. So let's say, this year kind of goes that way. Then next year they're going to be fighting for championship.
Yeah. And do you want to put a rookie driver into that?
100%. So now you're starting to, if I'm Toto Wolff, I'm thinking differently.
Even though he says he's not, by the way. He says he's not.
Dude, think about this for a second, right? It's kind of like, okay, 2025, you could have a chance at winning a Constructors' Championship. So don't you want the 2 most experienced, best drivers in your car?
Well, I would think so. Like, what? Okay. I know Kimi's doing really, really well in Formula 2, but I still don't think he's going to win this year. I'm not like it doesn't mean he doesn't mean he won't, but mathematically it'd be difficult.
He's won races,
but I mean like win the championship and get booted.
Win the championship, yeah. No, I don't think so. I don't think
because if you win the championship, no one ever wins the F2 championship twice. You win, you're done. So I can understand why they don't want him to be done and then have him go to like Formula E or something like that. But it does make a lot of sense for a Valtteri Bottas to jump in for just a season, doesn't it?
Sure.
I think
so.
Or even Carlos would have made sense too, but they're just not going that direction.
Well, it doesn't like. I don't know,
Do you
man.
think?
I'm hearing differently. I'm hearing.
What are you hearing?
I'm hearing they've had a couple conversations.
And is that in the recent? That's got to be recent then, because they were talking about
recent.
Okay.
Very recent.
So they are talking. They're talking.
But it still looks like this is going to be Antonelli's seat at Mercedes. I think, though, if I'm Toto Wolff, I would be looking at next season as a potential to win a championship. And I really would want to bring in an experienced driver to put alongside George.
Yeah.
And again, like who is that going to be? Is it going to be Valtteri? Could it be Esteban? Could it be Carlos? I mean, your next best bet would be to put Carlos in there. Like I would, anyways.
Yeah.
But I think Adam, like for Toto, it comes down to like waiting this out a bit. For him, he doesn't want to make a rash decision. Like he told me, he wants to start thinking about who he wants to put in there and have something ready to go by the autumn. And that looks like his trajectory. Like he wants to have somebody in there by the autumn. Now, who is that going to be? It's anybody's guess now, right? Depending on the team's performance. If it keeps going like this, let's say like Hungary's like a Mercedes hunting ground. Yeah. Spa probably is going to be good for them as well. Hey, like if they have 2 solid performances there, let's say they capture another win at one of those. You've got to start. I think if I'm running that team, I'm thinking now differently about my driver pairing for next year.
Right. Well, I'm curious now because this Mercedes being good wrinkles the picture even more, right? Like it's just, this is such a different year than last year. You almost get used to the fact that, things are about the same and drivers are going to swap seats and everybody will know what it looks like next year. And this, like, we don't know what it's going to look like in 2 weeks. We don't.
Nobody knows. Like that's the other thing. It's like no one knows where any of these drivers are going. Even these drivers don't even know where they're going. Mm-hmm. And no one knows what the driver picture is going to look like for next year. And if you sit here and you make a claim like it's going to be so-and-so and so-and-so, I mean, you could look really silly. So for me, it's just, I'm thinking like a team principal. Who would I want in there? Mm-hmm. Right? For me, I would want my driver lineup to be very experienced for next year. Yes. If I'm Mercedes. So I would want George and Carlos. That's what I would want.
Who seem like both affable guys that can get along. You're not going to have crazy tension in the garage, I don't think. Mm-hmm. You'll have some tension, but not crazy.
A little, but yeah.
A little's good. You want a little tension. There should be a little competition. You just don't want to kill each other.
If you're Williams, Adam, like, you've got Alex, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not going to bring Logan back, I would want Valtteri. He would be my next candidate.
And James knows him really well. Do you know anything about their personal relationship? Did they get along? And
yeah, I mean, like they were at Mercedes together for a long period of time. And like I had mentioned, I sat down and spoke with James, two of the drivers that he wants at his team. If he can't get one, he's going to try and get the other. It's going to be Carlos or Valtteri. And for him, experience and a driver who wants to sign up for this project and be a part of the team for a long period of time, that's what he's sort of looking for, to have continuity, to have the two drivers who have that experience. He doesn't want to bring up any rookies. He doesn't want young drivers. He wants experienced F1 veterans on his team. Okay. That's what he wants.
Man, well, I'm because I think people still talk about Williams like it's like the Red Bull version for Mercedes, right? Like it's the Mercedes.
Yeah, not anymore.
Team.
Yeah,
not anymore.
Not anymore. No.
Yeah, it would be quite the coup if they were able to get Ocon or Sainz in there. It seems like they're going to be able to get one of them. So,
yeah, or Valtteri, right? I mean,
Valtteri would be great.
Let's not forget about him. Like just because he's having a hard time down at Sauber, it doesn't mean that he's not a.
I think that's a function.
Yeah,
I think everybody knows that's a function of the car, right? Like it's just a bad car, right? And they just can't seem to, whatever it is, they can't get it going.
I mean, they haven't even upgraded it really. Like they haven't really brought many upgrades. Like I'm trying to remember, like they brought. What did they bring to the British Grand Prix? It literally was like nothing. It was, I think it was like some floor fences, and that was it. Like, and then you look down beside them, and like there's like a Haas B-spec car sitting right beside them, and I'm like, how is this possible?
That's bad. It's such a shame. I feel for them. I feel for Zhou Guanyu and Valtteri just because they're both good drivers. Yeah. I think people have forgotten about Zhou, and he might lose that seat, and it's like, man, that's not even his fault. It's just a bad car.